Welcome to Game of Roses. This is Pace Case.
This is Bachelor Clues, and today is Friday. If you're listening to this, we're recording it on Thursday. That means this is This Week in Bachelor Nation. We're going to be going through all those TIDs in Bachelor Nation news. We're going to be going through all those parasocial plays in the top 5 parasocial plays of the week. What else? Gains. We're going to be talking about the ratings and the last Instagram movements of our favorite players from this inaugural Golden Bachelorette season. And we got some very good screams from the pit. Let me just give you a tantalizing preview. Let me tantalize.
Oh my God, it's the spice of life.
If you don't know
Clues
what that painting
holding up
is,
a painting. It's got a brown frame, black background with a white, what looks like a splatter. Kind of like who's that splatter paint artist?
Jackson Pollock.
Pollock. Yes, it's Pollock-esque.
If you're not watching this, you should go to YouTube and see what I've just held up. And it might give you some idea of what my scream is going to be. I will give you no more context than that, but rest assured, once we get to Screams from the Pit, not only will I give you the story behind this invaluable, priceless piece of art, we're going to have a clip that is going to show you the origin of that art. So stick around
Clues.
for that. Yes.
I hate to break it to you, but it will be revealed in Parasocial Plays.
All right. Stick around.
Slightly before the Screams.
Okay, stick around until that. And then you'll know at least what the painting is. But if you want the clip of the origin of the painting, the little creation of the painting, you got to stick around until Screams from the Pit. Yeah,
great.
Exactly.
That's good marketing, Clues.
Thank you very much. But welcome to This Week in Bachelor Nation. We have a little bit of business here up top. We got our live pre-show, which you can access through patreon.com/Game of Roses, is moved back to Mondays at 4:30. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty this week. Patreon was down, but we'll be back stronger than ever on Monday.
Got Patreon back up. It's never happened before and hopefully never again. But yeah, join us for those lives every 4:30 Pacific time, even during the off season. You might wonder, we're still pre-gaming.
We totally are. So please join us for that. We also have holiday merch coming. We've got wrapping paper and a gornament dropping on the 25th. So that's, what is 25th, 22nd, 3rd, 4th? It's Monday of next week. You'll be able to go to gameofroses.co. And for Black Friday, there's 10% off everything in that store. No code needed. Cyber Monday's 25% off. No code needed. And the holiday sale is going to start on December 1st. All merch is going to be 15% off until December 31st. No code needed. And you can get our Game of Roses wrapping paper and gornaments as part of that.
Clues just gave me my ornament last night. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm so excited.
An unboxing.
Here we go. Oh my God. Gorgeous.
Beautiful. That's beautiful.
Gorgeous. If you are a real Gores girl, you'll pick up the 2020 Gore ornament.
Nice.
Ornament.
And we should mention this entire program is sponsored by
it's so good.
Topo Chico tangerine and ginger extract sparkling flavored water. Drink it and live forever. We're not actually sponsored by them.
Vegans.
Yeah, we're not actually sponsored by them, but I hope to be very soon because it's all I drink now.
And we hope for another sponsor, LaCroix Boys.
Oh, nice. Nice, yeah. Maybe LaCroix will get to us. We should also mention we should also mention that Pace Case and I did something last night. We recorded an episode of a podcast called Your Mom and Dad with Jess and Evan Ambrose, in which we played Dungeons and Dragons. I think it's coming out next week. Keep an eye out for it. We'll post it on all of our social media. It is it's not to be missed. I'll simply say that. The performance Pace Case delivers, I don't even know how to describe it. It's otherworldly.
Thank you.
Let's simply say.
Thank you so much. There's a little bit of it in my scream, actually. So this is good marketing for my scream.
Fantastic.
I can't wait for you all to see it. I had never played Dungeons and Dragons before. And I didn't even watch the video that Jess told me to watch beforehand. So I was really going in as a as a newbie, but I loved it. It was so fun.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I did as well.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on. Now that all of our business is done, to
Game of Roses. State of the game.
So the current state of the game is there ain't no game. We are in that roughly 6-week period of the off season here where we're not going to get any new reality content, but it is going to blast off early January with Special Forces, World's Toughest Tests, which we're going to get to in the news, and Traitors is dropping, I think, January 9th, season 3, which is going to have each of those shows will have 2 Bachelor players, 2 giant Bachelor players on it. We will get to
watching that Trista trailer.
Yeah.
It was the closest I've ever come to watching Special Forces, which I do not want to watch because I don't like seeing people get hurt.
Oh, it's so good. People get hurt.
But the trailer was like, I had chills.
Yeah. I think she's going to dominate. I think she's going to kick major ass. I don't know about Ali Fedotowsky. I hope she does.
They seem to be cutting Ali Fedotowsky out.
Yeah.
Of the trailer. I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be sad. I mean, obviously, we know that the first 2 seasons, Hannah Brown was a co-champion of season 1, and then Tyler Cameron and Nick Viall were 2 of the 3 champions of season 2. And
World's Toughest Test, there can be as many winners as you want. Another problem with it.
But it's not. It's about psychological fortitude. It's about pressing yourself beyond what you believe you're capable of. And Bachelor players can do that. It's seemingly at will. They've won both seasons.
The Godmother.
Yeah. If she's not one of the champions at the end of this, I will be very surprised. So we're looking forward to that. So beyond those things, coming in January, we thought we would do a state of the game this week about what are we going to be doing for these 6 weeks without reality TV. Obviously, I'm still in Clue's Corner wrapping up Love Island America season 6, which I'm absolutely enthralled by. And I will also be watching Bachelor Pad season 1 right on the heels of that. And that'll probably take us into that mid-January spot where I'm going to be doing Traitors in Clue's Corner, Traitors season 3.
I'm so excited for that Traitor season. I guess this is a mini scream is that I started watching. Well, I've watched 90 Day before a while ago, and I'm like a few seasons behind. But I started watching 90 Day and before the 90 Day the other way and before the 90 Days, the 2 currently airing seasons, in order to have something to talk to you about outside of work, like as a hobby.
TV.
Yeah,
that's
like,
our hobby
that's not for
show.
work. That's just like,
it's our pleasure watch.
But I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Sarper is this character Sarper on The Other Way. Apparently it's his 2nd season. I haven't seen his 1st season. Now I have to. He is reality TV gold. I can't believe the different things that are revealed about this man.
And Shekinah, who is the woman that he's with. She's from Los Angeles. I don't know why I said it like that, but she's from LA. And now and he's from Turkey. The first time they were on, she goes there to visit him and things happen. The second time they're on, same thing.
We find out about the bottles.
Yeah, he has a collection of bottles, one basically for every woman that he's had sex with, of which there are, as he claims, over 2,500. And he has all of them as notch marks in a notebook that he keeps. There's a lot to
the sociopath's notebook of notches.
But they're in LA now together. They live here now. They are LA icons, if you can believe.
They could be our friends.
But yeah, I'm watching 90 Day as well. I'm also kind of dipping back into, I'm always watching anime. Right now, there's a great one called Dan to Dan, which is on Crunchyroll, and I think it is on Netflix as well. Check if you are new to anime,
Dan to Dan,
or you're even an old fan of anime, but you're looking for like some new, really good stuff. This show is mind blowing. I can't tell you how good it is. In episode 7, make sure you get to episode 7. It is like one of the greatest pieces of anime art I think that has ever been made. So I will leave it there. And I'm also rewatching Soul Eater.
What's Soul Eater? Is that
Soul Eater is my favorite anime. Yeah. It's hilarious. The animation is really cool. All the fight scenes are really cool. It's just like one of the funniest animes I think of all time, and I really love it.
Dang.
So I'm rewatching.
I love that.
Thank you. I also watched Dune. Am I going to keep watching?
I watched
Dune?
the first episode.
The show.
I will watch anything that gets made in that world.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember what happened in that episode.
I
was like, wait, the actress aged up.
Yeah.
We saw that happen.
They're a big fan of that at HBO, we know. Game of Thrones, Dragon House or whatever. Dragon Town, USA. They did
House
that
of the Dragon. Oh,
multiple
have
times.
some respect.
If they had respect
my
for me, I'd have respect
gosh.
for them. Here's the thing about this Dune show. I'm going to keep watching it because like you say, I'll watch anything set in that universe. It is my favorite sci-fi book series of all time. I grew up reading it and loving it. And I love the 2 movies that have come out.
Did you read
Denis Villeneuve? I read the first Silo. Yeah.
Oh,
the first book.
Trilogy is so good. And maybe the second book is my favorite.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend that.
People stuck underground, being told
Dune
a lie.
2, tied with Challengers for best film of the year.
For you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was great.
For you.
I love
For
those.
everyone, right?
Yeah, I was like, who put out this award? Talking about Oscars? No, I love that second movie. But this show, this is just my 2 cents on it so far. I'm going to keep watching it because it's set in that world. Here's the problems with it. 1, don't care about any of the characters. 2, acting not good. 3, visually not good. Looks cheap. Looks like a Disney Star Wars show, not a Dune show.
Very Star Wars. I will agree with that.
And the dialogue is not like, we were talking about this before the show. One of my favorite things about the Dune world, it's set tens of thousands of years in the future of humanity. So all of their interactions, everything that's going on in that kind of universe seems very far removed from where we are now as human beings. The dialogue in this Dune show has like 2 characters going into a club and they're dancing and doing drugs. And one of them's like, "Are you good?" And the other one's like, "Yeah, I'm good." They're using like 2024 slang, 10,000 years in the future. It just seems very slapped together. It doesn't seem like any care is given to the world building of this. And I know that's not true.
They're getting a lot of exposition out, and like pilots are hard. So I'll give them that.
A lot of voiceover.
And obviously I'll watch it forever, but
sure.
I am also watching the most recent Love Island UK season, which I will say the casting is definitely not as good as the USA season 6, which is, I mean, that's probably one of the best Love Island seasons ever. But I do recommend watching it. It gets very messy in the middle, which is just, it's pretty nice. And I'll probably watch Australia after that.
It's just too much. Like the volume of these Love Island shows, and I really love this Love Island season 6. It's fantastic. There are going to be 37 episodes or something like this, 38 episodes. It's like, I can't, that's 4 times a regular show.
Yeah, but that's what I love. There's always more show.
I do too.
There's always more time with my friends.
Absolutely. And they don't ever get boring. Like, that's the crazy thing about it. What I'm really learning my first time through Love Island is every episode is wild as hell. The challengers are always like, they're at least interesting. Still, the game mechanics of it is like, it doesn't matter if you win the challenges in quotes or not, really. There's no huge benefit or repercussion or anything if you lose. But the things they have them do at least are visually very interesting. And it does have, usually it has some impact on the psychosocial dynamic. If you're forced to make out with somebody or dry hump somebody.
Choose who you're going to make out with.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them are about making out and doing strip dances. It's great. Yeah. I'm also watching you watch Love Island USA season 6. I just got to your first movie night, which was so exciting for me.
Yeah, it was crazy. But again, the game of the movie night where they basically asked, they split the teams into men and women, and they asked them each similar questions, like how long is a male orgasm? And whichever team got closest to the right answer got to then choose what clip they would play, which is footage that some of them haven't seen of people making out with people or lying or doing whatever. And the titles of these clips were all vague enough that it could be like, well, that could be about me. That could be about somebody else. And no matter what, no matter who picked it, it was detrimental to everyone basically always. So there was no benefit in winning those challenges at all.
Yeah.
And I think for my money, those players, once you kind of establish that like winning these challenges is meaningless, I would just take it to the nth degree. I would blow the challenges up every time. Screaming, tearing down the set, doing backflips.
Like, clues, come on. We just get through one challenge?
Like, no, the answer is no. I want to make these challenges as crazy as possible. And none of the players are doing that. They're all kind of adhering to whatever the loose rules of the game are. But
that has been how they formatted it for a while. But this most recent UK season, they just did away with the challenge and they just played all the clips. It was like, here's a film festival. Wow. And it was great.
A 10-hour long, just every kiss, everything anyone has done. They Clockwork Orange them, open their eyes with clamps.
I want to say they might even had breaks, but I love how, they've kind of embraced the lore of the show, and it gets, the first movie night, I don't know what season it was, but it was like definitely not how they're doing it now. They've got all the popcorn, like fancy seats, and like it's, these traditions that everyone looks forward to or dreads.
Yeah. I'll have to go back and watch some of the early UK seasons, I think, as well. I don't know. I feel like Clues Corner is about to rewatch UK to boost up.
After
I'm doing
your
a
mom
Clues
and dad
Corner
suggested it.
Minimum every other day.
I don't understand how you're doing this.
Because I want to watch these things. At any rate.
I will say, like, our general podcast schedule it's a quick pace. It is a lot of podcast episodes we do. And when you're doing a Clues Corner every other day, that's a lot of content.
That's what I do.
Very impressive.
I make content. But that is how we're essentially going to try and get through this off season with these shows we mentioned. We're going to keep watching things. Some things will be scripted. That Dune show, really, I'm so 50-50 on. I'm like 51-49 because that pilot was so fucking bad, in my opinion, on every level. It's hard for me to, again, care about anything that's about to happen. Although I do like that one actor who plays the guy that came from Arrakis. He's wearing like the long trench coat.
Oh, yeah.
He was in
with the long hair.
The Raised by Wolves show. Oh my God. You've never seen that? 2 seasons on HBO Max. You want to talk about how to make a sci-fi world believable and nothing like Earth, not anything like this? Watch that show. It's unbelievably cool, in my opinion, but they canceled it after 2 seasons. Ridley Scott executive produced. It's very sad to see it go. At any rate, I like seeing that actor.
Sorry.
And I'm basically watching it to see his acting. I don't even care about his character. I just care let's see what weird shit he'll do with his face.
Pilots are so hard. I always
are they?
Like, yes.
Are they?
For a franchise like Dune, with a very complicated storyline
that should be
like
the easiest pilot. They have source material.
Eras. Look, they do a lot of exposition about like the machine wars and like kind of explaining that. But
the
I
Butlerian
still
Jihad, it's called.
I do have trouble like believing it still, especially given our world of like, okay, so if they made a rule to get rid of AI or whatever, I'm like, they'd just make it again.
Yeah, that's never happening. The Butlerian Jihad will never actually happen. I can assure you of that. There's too much money to be made from those thinking machines.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm like, it takes me out of it at this point.
I agree. Or show me a show about that.
There's
I'd rather see a show about that war.
IRL. Exactly. That's the other thing I was thinking. I was like, well, that seems much more interesting than what we're watching right now.
100%.
I want to see that.
Yeah. They give you a little 2-second clip of like these giant machines being taken down by humanity in the biggest war that we've ever seen as a species. And then it cuts to like But now we're just trying to manipulate breeding lines to have slightly better leaders for humanity. And you're like, well, that's visually very uninteresting.
The fast-paced plot of like pregnancy.
Pregnancy and like multiple generations, thousands of years of generations of a breeding program. That's the breakneck pace of Dune, the TV show.
Get him. Dune TV show, catching strays and stay the game.
You know what they should have done? If they were just going to go this full, like, let's make this some kind of like homogenized, shitty, whatever, set in the Dune world. They've already done that with Star Wars. Star Wars has shown you the blueprint of how to make these kind of mediocre shows just set in that universe, and people will eat it up. I would have much preferred that.
I liked Andor. That's the only one I've watched.
Some of them were okay. Mandalorian was okay. Andor was okay. Acolyte, the most recent one, was like an utter disaster that everyone hated and has caused a lot of turmoil in that universe. But like, can you imagine how cool would it have been to see like a, something set in the Dune world that's on Dune about like a little band of Fremen fighters that are going to do some big thing at the end. Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, I have a lot of qualms, but that reminds me that I did start season 2, episode 1, which is great.
Of what?
Silo, the TV show based on Wool.
Yeah.
It's very good. It's the woman from Dune, Rebecca Ferguson. She's the lead.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Interesting. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have Apple TV. Maybe I'll break down and get it. They also do Asimov's Foundation, which is my favorite overall book series.
I tried to read that and it was just so misogynist. I just couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, so it's just like hundreds and thousands of years and every leader character is a man. Okay.
Yeah. The different time.
Bye.
Written in the 1950s. I know. What can you do? All right. So that is our state of the game. We are in the off season. These are some of the shows we're watching. Hopefully everybody out there has something you're watching to get you through these next 6 weeks before Traders and winter. Special Forces drop. But now let's move on to that portion of our program where we talk about the ratings of our beloved game and the Instagram movements of our beloved game. This is
This Week in
Games. So we finally have the last ratings for Joan Vassos's finale. And surprisingly, they were the highest ratings of the entire season, coming in at a 0.38. She edged out her next highest rating, which was a 0.34 she was able to achieve on the second week of this season. And with that rating, she also increased from the prior week by 26.67%. And she put on the highest number of Raw viewers she had all season 2 with 3.45 million. If we compare that across the network TV landscape, you're going to be very happy to hear that she came in 3rd out of 4, not 4th out of 4. She beat out The Masked Singer on Fox.
I don't think that was an accurate prediction of my happiness.
She beat out The Masked Singer on Fox, which had a 0.37. So she beat him out by 1/100th of a percentage point there. And she came in just 1/100th of a percentage point behind Chicago Med on NBC, but was unfortunately absolutely crushed by a 0.71 of Survivor on CBS. And, ultimately we can look at all these ratings over the course of this season. And I think pretty much say without any doubt, it is the worst rated product ever produced by the Bachelor franchise. What that is going to mean moving forward, we don't know. Obviously, Survivor ate up a big chunk of that audience. Moving it to a Wednesday night was a bad idea, et cetera, et cetera. Is that going to in any way influence how they will program it next year? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But they are casting for Golden Bachelor season 2 right now.
I kind of think they're going to continue this cycle since they're casting that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch Survivor in the off season. That's a good idea. Looks like it crushed. Yeah. I'm very, very curious about how they are going to handle this scheduling situation.
We won't know until, probably 7 months from now, 8 months from now, I guess, is when they'll probably announce the premiere date of Golden Bachelor season 2, which we're hoping will be Charles Ling. And then we'll know what night they're going to put it out. We don't know that either. Mm-hmm. Those are the two kind of big things I'm looking for. I think Paradise is more important than the Golden Bachelor, honestly, in terms of what it's going to mean to the franchise. Mm-hmm. But next August-ish, they are going to be airing Bachelor of Paradise season 10. And we're going to start to have some questions answered. Are they just going to turn out the exact same cookie cutter thing they did for the last 3 seasons of BIP that ran it into the ground? Mm-hmm. Are they going to take some of the notes that we have given on this very show many times in an episode called How to Save Bachelor in Paradise? Are they going to try anything different? Time will tell. And I think, too, it's going to be interesting to see what the players' attitudes are like in Paradise. Is it going to be abject fear like it has been for the past 3 seasons? Or will there be that kind of year off, that gap? Will that create in the general player psychology base an idea that, like, maybe it's not so bad? We didn't get to see people being driven to nervous breakdowns in mass on a hot, sweaty beach filled with crabs and bugs and creamy Caesar and people pissing in the sand. Does that year off alleviate some of the pressure that an incoming player might feel to mind their P's and Q's? We don't know.
Or does it add even more pressure?
We don't know. Time will tell. Will Maria Georgas be on sand?
If they are smart, they're getting Georgas on sand. Pay her whatever she needs. Then we have Pete Davidson as a Skelly.
He's a guest host. Hey guys, I'm here to host Bachelor in Paradise. That was my Pete Davidson. Thank you. You know what I think they should do is give Maria Georgas $1 million and say she is immune from being kicked off the beach.
And she'll be the next Bachelorette.
Yeah, I would do all of that.
Get that in the contract. And now for Jones Gaines. Her Instagram, as of today, Thursday, is at 175K. Damn. Congrats to Joan. She put on 52K this week. Unreal. On her TikTok.
That is crazy.
She's at 127K. She put on 13.1K this week.
Damn.
Incredible gain.
Those numbers are very impressive for a week post the finale. It is kind of 52K in a week is relatively unheard of in this modern era. We also want to take a look here.
Viewers all season to figure out how to follow someone on Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's on Wednesday nights. We also want to talk about our ring winner, Chalk. Chalk jacked up his numbers this week. Chalk was down there at the bottom of the Instagram sea, dredging up 29.9 thousand new treasures to add to his collection. He is now at 63.6K, which is the Instagram leader of the season. He beat out everybody, Charles L. and Mark Anderson, who are, I think, still roughly around 40K apiece.
Dang. Congrats, Chalk. I mean, well deserved after an incredible season.
Absolutely.
Both clues in my MVP last week. And now for those tids all around the nation. What is going on? This has been a wild week in terms of tits.
Indeed it has.
This is Bachelor Nation News.
First up in Bachelor Nation News, Maria Georgas is not dating Pete Davidson, or at least that's what she claims after rumors surfaced this week in various tabloids that Davidson had entered rehab as a result of Georgas breaking up with him. The Almost Bachelorette took to her Instagram to set the record straight. In 2 successive Instagram stories, she posted plain white text on black backgrounds that read, "Never dated Pete, false rumor, exclamation mark. I'm friends with his sister. Case closed.
Case
then
closed.
In the next post,
Love that line.
yeah, case closed is the best. Nothing to see here. Stop talking about
Case
it.
closed.
Then in the next post, she says, just spoke to his sister. He's not in rehab and has been sober for months. Can't believe this shit. It's very insulting to his recovery and my mental health. He's literally home.
He's literally home. Ugh. The writing is so good. Case closed. Mission accomplished. The story, it doesn't end there, though. The U.S. Sun is reporting that multiple sources said that Pete's inner circle pleaded with Georgas to shut down dating rumors and also insist he never went to rehab. One of the sources also explained that asking the Bachelor star to put out that statement was, quote, a well-intentioned misstep. They also claimed that Davidson and Georgas dated, quote, on a very limited basis.
The source further confirmed that Pete was in Florida receiving treatment, as the U.S. Sun previously revealed. But they elaborated saying, quote, he has a therapist in Florida who works on processing traumatic memories and dealing with PTSD. This was for mental health, not for substance abuse. We don't know what the actual truth is in any of this, but we wish nothing but the best for both of these superstars.
I mean, for Maria Georgas to allegedly be with the man who was with Kim Kardashian, it's huge for our beloved Kim.
And strangely, the man that Devin Strader was compared to in the season of Bachelorette that she should have been Bachelorette in.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a strange,
I forgot about that.
Twisted reality. There's some kind of quantum physics going on here.
Yeah,
quantum
definitely.
entanglement. Up next in Bachelor Nation news, Gore Girl Blake Horseman and Love is Blind superstar Giannina Gibelli have entered into a verbal agreement to sign a legally binding contract that would make them financially dependent on one another until death and would allow them to make life-altering medical decisions for one another should the need arise. In other words, they're engaged.
Will you write my vows?
Yes. Please let me.
Oh my God. Of course, the horse. I love that. The horse made his Bachelor Nation debut way back in 2018 on the Becca Kufrin season 14 of The Bachelorette. After being emotionally demolished in the finals, the producers saw fit to turn the horse into the villain of BIP season 6 on the basis of his pre-Paradise sexual encounters with superstars Kayla Miller-Keys and Christina Schulman at that year's Stagecoach Music Festival. While that season of BIP was airing, Horseman published receipts to Instagram in the form of text messages between him and Miller-Keys, which contradicted his villain edit and exonerated him in the eyes of the nation.
Gibelli's rookie season was the very first season of Netflix's dating juggernaut Love is Blind. Gibelli made it all the way to the altar with co-star Damian Powers, but decided not to get married. But they kept dating in the real world, finally ending things in 2021 after Powers was accused of cheating on Gibelli with Too Hot to Handle's Francesca Farrago, which he denied.
Gibelli and Horseman met while filming season 1 of All Star Shore and have been together ever since, revealing that Gibelli was pregnant in November of 2023. Horseman was then tapped as the first ever Bachelor player to appear at a Love is Blind reunion for season 6, where the couple revealed that Gibelli was supposed to be on Perfect Match, but a different path revealed itself. The couple had their son, Heath Orion, on March 29th.
Congrats to this power couple on this next step in their fleeting lives together. See what
Jesus. Fleeting.
Speaking the truth. All of our lives are fleeting.
There's no time, so how's it fleeting? Isn't it forever?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything is fleeting and not fleeting simultaneously. Everything exists and doesn't exist at the same time. We are nothing and everything.
Next up in Bachelor Nation news, it seems like gazing isn't the only thing.
Oh, it should be thing. Sorry.
Gazing isn't the only thing Grat-Zeet-Zeet-Zee is good at. The Ziesel Beazle made history this week as the first Bachelor to make it to the Dancing with the Stars finale. Ziesel. Bonzizzi and his partner, Jenna Johnson, earned their first perfect score in their first 10 for a Latin dance that catapulted them into the final round.
The Zeezer said, "It's unbelievable. It was a great night. We knew we had two dances that we loved, and just to have everything come together, to have it kind of be what it was, it's everything we've hoped for. So right now, I'm just really happy."
The Beat Zeets takes his place among other Bachelor Nation superstars who have made it to the final round. Maybe you've heard of the Beast, Hannah Brown, or the Queen of the Nashville Sliders and the one true GOAT, Caitlin Bristow, both of whom have won the coveted Mirror Ball trophy. But the Queezeets...
This is a Dune reference.
Queezeets Haderach, this is a Dune reference, is the first man from the franchise to have a shot at the trophy. The Queezeets Haderach.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Thank you. Beziesel and Johnson scored 58 points for their Foxtrot and Paso Doble routines on Tuesday, tying them at the top of the leaderboard with Chandler Kinney and Brandon Armstrong. All 5 of the show's remaining couples will compete for the Len Goodman Mirrorball Trophy next week. Good luck to little Jesus. Bring her home. Bring her home to us. The Mirrorball Trophy, not Hannah Ann Sluss.
Ooh, sleuth catching strays.
Yep.
Congrats, Zeets. I really hope he wins. Everyone's going to text that number. Next up in Bachelor Nation news, the cast has been announced for the upcoming season 3 of Special Forces, The World's Toughest Test. And once again, Bachelor Nation will be represented very well. The player who built the franchise on her back, Trista Sutter, and the crown of Bachelorette Season 6, Ali Fedotowsky-Mano, have stepped up to the challenge to see if they can handle the grueling 8-day training camp that has felled many a lesser celebrity.
Sutter shared a teaser video for the new season via Instagram and wrote, quote, "Was it a divorce, nervous breakdown, midlife crisis, death, trial, separation back in May? Not unless that's what you call Special Forces World's Toughest Test Season 3. Winky face emoji. Thankfully, none of those things are associated with my experience in filming the show. But as you get a glimpse of in the trailer, the angel on my shoulder did have to face some pretty big battles. You'll have to tune in January to see the battles play out. But for now, just so grateful to be a part of this epic adventure. Red heart emoji."
Fedotowsky also shared the announcement and posted a video explaining why she disappeared for a month in May, as well as why she was working out so hard, writing, "People were concerned. They were like, it's a little concerning how much you're working out. There was a reason for it. I was training. I trained my absolute best, my hardest, and it's finally coming out. So I'm so excited. So this is where I disappeared to back in May. I never trained so hard for anything in my life, and I am so grateful for the experience. It is wild, you guys."
Sutter and Fedotowsky-Mano have some very big shoes to fill, as the first season was co-championed by none other than the Beast. Hannah Brown in the second season saw 2 of 3 tri-champions coming from Bachelor Nation in the form of the male Instagram champion of the nation, the Tyler Cameron, and the greatest Bachelor player of all time, bar none, the sour grapeser himself, the great one, Nicholas Joseph Viala. Good luck to Trista and Ali. May the odds be ever in your favor. I think Trista's going to win. I don't know about Ali. We've discussed this. I don't know if she got what it takes, but I'm looking very forward to that season. And of course, right as that's airing, Trader Season 3 is going to be airing with the lovable dingbat Gabby Windy and
I'm watching Traders.
Bartender of Paradise who believes he controls more than he does in Bachelor Nation, Wells Adams. The husband of Sarah Hyland, Wells Adams.
Ooh. Do you think Sarah Hyland is going to get discussed?
Never host, Wells Adams.
In the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think a housewife's going to be like, "And who are you again?" And he's going to be like, "I was on a show called The Bachelor, but I married." You ever see that TV show Modern Family? "Oh, I married one of the Modern Family." That's my Wells Adams. Thank you.
You sound like Morty from Rick and Morty.
Wells kind of does. I think that's accurate.
And now for First, I did want to highlight a couple honorable mention Instagram stories. There was so much good play this week. Chelsea Vaughn posted a selfie on her Instagram story, sending a big hug to anyone who needs it today. Take care of yourselves, my loves. Yellow heart emoji. And for anyone who voted for that man, I sincerely mean it with my whole chest when I say, fuck you. You can choke, but please block me before you do. And Kelly Flanagan posted an all text Instagram story. I know many of you have been curious about my dating life, and I tried to keep things private for a while. I thought working on it away from social media would have helped, but sometimes things don't go as planned. I found out that I was being highly disrespected for the past 7 months. And if it wasn't for all of you, my followers, and girls being girls, I would have stayed in the dark and never known. My heart is shattered, but I'm so grateful to have you all. Prayer hands emoji.
That one's fascinating to me. That the fourth audience basically alerted her to some kind of nefarious dealings of the guy she was dating.
Yeah.
Absolutely wild. I don't know the details of that story.
I don't know the details either, but that is wild.
Yeah.
And now for our top 5.
You want me to go? Or you want to go?
You go.
Okay.
No, wait. I should go.
You do? Okay, go ahead.
Our number 5 parasocial play of the week goes to the Princess of Country, Christina Mandrell, and the King of Dangle Nation, Braden Bowers. In a joint Instagram reel between the duo, Mandrell acts mostly as director, shooting wholesome scenes of, quote, Bray Dad at her daughter's rainy soccer game, as he's helping the daughter with a shoe come loose and with her ponytail. Finally, her package deal scores a goal and they all celebrate. 6.2K likes, 117,000 views.
I can't wait for their wedding. Coming in at number 4 in our top 5 parasocial plays of the week. Hashtag long-term goals. Our number 4 top parasocial play goes to Cordell Beckham in a joint Instagram post between him and Cheez-It. I saw this. This shit made me laugh so hard. He announces his new job as the new chief fantasies officer for Cheez-Its via a gorgeous photo of himself in an official Cheez-It red jacket. The caption reads, hashtag ad Cordeezy got a new job. Meet the new at Cheez-It college football CFO, chief fantasies officer. I'm here to help make your college football fantasies come true. Stay tuned. Hashtag feeling the cheesiest. 184K likes, 1.1K comments. There was a video that went along with this too, I believe, where he's actually saying
a video
shit
as well.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Congrats. Manifested that shit right out of reality
textbook. TV. That is how you get a SpawnCon.
I'm the new CFO for Topo Chico. Tangerine and ginger extract, sparkling water. That's the chief. What could it be in this? I don't feel like we can be the chief fantasies officer. Chief
LaCroix Boise officer.
Nice.
For LaCroix. Thank you so much. I deserve this honor and I am honored by it.
Topo Chico has just given me $10 million to promote their new tangerine and ginger extract sparkling water. Thank you very much, Topo Chico, for the $10 million.
I love that. Our number 3 parasocial play of the week goes to former Bachelor Ziesel Beazle Joey Graziadei. He revealed that he is now competing with clues to coach potential Bachelor players. In a playful TikTok video, he coaches Olympian Ilana Mayer on being the potential Bachelorette crown. During the lesson, Graziadei hands Mayer a rose, encouraging her to practice rose ceremony etiquette, critiquing her approach, and helping refine her delivery. The banter includes Mayer jokingly dismissing suitors, reworking her lines under Graziadei's guidance, leading to laughter and memorable moments. Mayer joked about her inability to be nice to suitors and poked fun at rumors of her joining the show. But she left the doors slightly open, saying she'd date 30 men for America. The video, shared amidst their ongoing participation in Dancing with the Stars, highlighted their lighthearted friendship and playful dynamic.
It was a pretty good video. I'm not going to lie. Coming in at second place this week in our top 5 Parasocial Plays of the Week, the first Golden Bachelorette, Joan Vassos and Charles Shock Chapel. They just posted a joint reel in which Joan attempts various versions of Hoojus with chalk. We didn't get to see our Hooju in game, so it warms our hearts to see them celebrating the sub-sport. Goldens can and should Hooju if a doctor says it's okay. 5K likes and 80.6K views. I did like this video very much.
Yes.
Including the little part where he's acting like he got thrown out his back because he had to play the anchor to Joan's Hooju. Yeah.
We have not seen an IFI during a Hooju before in game. That would be interesting, actually.
I agree.
But I don't want them to think that Hoojus are too dangerous. All of these were strong plays. However, there can only be one winner. Our number 1 Parasocial Play of the Week goes to Katie Thurston and Bachelor Clues.
And me?
In a joint reel play this week, the pair stunned and delivered. First, Thurston ponders holding the infamous semen painting that Blake Moynes painted for her in season. Thurston looks off into the distance, pondering under the chyron, who would actually want this piece of junk? Cut to Clues making an excited goofball face accepting the painting. Clues has been discussing the Seed of Moynes painting for many years now, and seeing him collect this prize made us scream here at Gore. 3.1K likes for this beautiful offering, 205 comments, 326,000 views. Engagement season.
It was my honor, my pleasure. I can't thank Katie Thurston enough for this, and I'm going to be talking about this in Screams from the Pit, just FYI. But not only did I get the painting and get to be in this incredible piece of social media with the Katie Thurston, she directed me. I got to receive direction from one of the greatest parasocial players in the history of our game, and it was a moment I will cherish until my dying day. Yeah.
It showed. Your reaction was perfect.
Thank you. All credit to her. It was Katie Thurston's complete idea, her direction, her execution, her editing. She made that video. Moving on from all these human plays, including the one that I made with Katie Thurston, don't forget, we must discuss some creatures. And this week, the coveted Parasocial Creature of the Week award goes to Hash Brown. Andrew Spencer took his dog outside to experience the snow for the first time, and he saw fit to share that experience with us via Instagram Reel in these trying times. Watching Hash Brown enjoy frozen water falling from the sky is exactly what we all need. Please go check out Andrew's Reel and give Hash Brown some likes. It's one of the cutest things I've ever seen.
Oh, it's
little
so
hashy.
Cute. I gotta take Luca in the snow. That's so
I think you got to
cute.
take Luca away from Los Angeles if you want to do that. It snowed maybe like twice in the 20 plus years I've lived here.
He really likes sand. There's a sand pile at one of the parks we go to, and he goes nuts in it.
Take him out to the beach. Turn him loose.
I do need to do that. I accidentally took him to a non-dog beach accidentally. And so I was like, I didn't want him to run around. But then he escaped and I chased after him and I shit in the sand. Boom.
Is that on video? Please.
No one, none of my friends saw it too, which was worse. It was just in front of like all these strangers. Yeah. But I had to tell everyone.
You're obviously. Okay. You popped up. I'm okay.
But he ran straight into the ocean and I got him.
Oh, nice.
Anyway,
well, now it's time.
Snow like Hash Brown.
It's time for us to move on to that final portion of our program where we scream from the depths of the pit about how our fandom of Bachelor, of reality TV at large, has drastically changed the fundamental fibers of who we are as entities. This is
Screams from the Pit.
What do you got, Pace Case? Scream it.
I don't think it'll surprise you, Clues, but my scream comes from last night. You and I recording the Dungeons and Dragons episode with your mom and dad podcast. Yeah. I was assigned the character of Bard as it was my first time playing.
Mhm.
And all my references were I knew Chris Pine from the movie. And I was like, okay, well, that's musical. And I was like, well, who's musical? And instead of, any kind of musical artist or any that you would normally think of,
Mhm.
I only thought of one name, Jed Wyatt. And so I used that as my inspiration, first thought, best thought, and played as this kind of fantastical version as Jeddah Wyatt all evening. And the fact that my brain is just only Bachelor stuff, and even in things that are unrelated, it's all I can use in my character creation is my scream.
Well,
It's
I was
over.
sitting right next to you while you were turning in this performance, and I have to tell everyone watching this, you must watch this episode of Your Mom and Dad when it comes out. It will not disappoint. See if you can understand what is going on with Pace Case's performance. Again, I was sitting 1 inch from her the entire night, and I still have no idea what I witnessed. So if you can help me out, send me a
Thank you
DM.
so much.
Yeah, no, it was mind blowing. It really was one of those performances where you're like, what's going on here? Is she opening a portal somewhere? What is this? So please enjoy.
Portal to my brain.
My scream
What's your
this week
scream?
involves, actually, this is not my scream. It would have been a scream in any other week. I attended a good friend of ours' 50th birthday party. And at the end of the party, everything's kind of winding down. There was just a small group of people there. Most people had left, kind of the people who were going to like smoke weed and chill after. And I derailed this conversation into not only talking about The Bachelor incessantly, but in trying to conscript one of our other mutual friends into going on to Golden. And I said I could coach her, et cetera, et cetera. And it turned into this impromptu kind of coaching session. And I felt bad about it later that I had essentially overridden my good friend's 50th birthday party by derailing into a Bachelor conversation. That's not my scream.
Don't feel bad. You're just being yourself.
Oh, thank you. My scream was the painting. It is this painting.
Yeah.
Now,
it's gotta be.
You know what? Before I show the painting again, I want to play a clip. I want everyone who is watching this on YouTube, if you're just listening on podcast platforms of your choice, go to YouTube and watch this. I'm going to cut in a clip of where this painting came from. Let's watch that now.
It's important context.
Okay. I think for the most part, playing it safe never really gets you anywhere.
Title, life.
Being like unapologetically a sexual open person is okay.
And this is just a physical, visual representation of one of the most amazing, beautiful things that humans are able to do on a daily basis. Not a lot of species can do that. That magic, these are also the beginning of life.
So you can see that is when Blake Moynes created this work of art back in Bachelorette season 17, one of the bubble seasons, on a group date where all the guys were forced to make some kind of art that, was referential of how they felt about Katie, et cetera, et cetera. And now I possess it. It's here. This is that semen painting. I don't know which way it goes. I think Blake Moynes was holding it like this. As you saw,
it that way.
I do too. Kind of anchored by the larger blob here down at the bottom. But as you saw in the video, this was not even allowable on ABC. They black boxed this entire painting. Well, here it is. You can see it now for yourself, and I possess it. And this goes into a collection of things that I now have. I have also.
It's weird to me that they black boxed it. They showed all the vagina paintings.
This is the baseball that was given to Braden Bowers by Charity Lawson on their one-on-one date in her season of Bachelorette. I'm just showing you now my show and tell of the museum, you see. This is a date card. If you zoom into it, you might even be able to read it. It's a date card that says, Courtney, let's take the next step in our relationship. Ben, you can guess who that is. It's Courtney Robertson and Ben Flanick. And what else do I have? This is not from the same date. This is from a little bit of a later date. That's a key to a fantasy suite that Courtney Robertson used to open her fantasy suite. My collection
Why
is
are you
growing.
not wearing that around your neck?
Well, maybe I do on special occasions. I'm simply saying my collection of these items is growing, and the painting is kind of, to me, the crown jewel of my collection so far.
You've been talking about that painting for years. I did not know you were getting it. So the first time I saw this was the Katie Thurston reel, and I screamed. I was so happy for you.
It really is a moment that defines my life in some ways. All right. So thank you for indulging that.
I think that wins the scream.
We are not the only people screaming down here in the bottom of the pit. Of course, if you want to submit your screams, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/gameofroses. Join us in the bottom of the pit. You're going to get access to our Discord. On that Discord is a channel called Submit Your Scream, where you can upload a 1 minute or shorter audio or video format scream. Today, our scream comes to us from Camp Easy. Let's take a listen. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Hello, Pace Case, Clues, Anye, and the pit at large. I welcomed my first baby into our dying world in June of this summer. She started coming to our Bachelor watch groups for Jen's season of The Bachelorette, and we joked about pulling her into the pit. But of course, she was born into the pit. And I know that because one of our favorite things to do with her since she was a tiny little newborn infant is to lift her legs in the air and drop them to the ground in what we call leg slams. Babies love to leg slam. But what my husband and I started doing without realizing it was making this sound. Wah, boom. Of course, the wah on the wind-up and the boom on the drop. Yeah. If you've been in the pit a long time, you know Wah Boom Guy was, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, a Night 1 player from season 21, the Rachel Lindsay Bachelorette season. My husband, who has not watched The Bachelorette in years, started doing the Wah Boom sound before I did. We are deep in the pit. Praise be, Dark Lord Palmer.
Wowie.
Waboom was not a Night 1 guy.
No.
He was a week 2 guy, I believe. His name was Lucas Yancey, and he got embroiled in a rivalry with none other than Blake Ellerby. I didn't bring my 30-pound weights into my show and tell, but that's where I got my weights from him. So
only on special times, it's part of the decor.
Yeah, it's in the other room.
Otherwise, it's utility.
Yeah, it's in my workout you. Exactly. But thank you so much for the scream. This is a pretty high level one. Now your child will have these indelible memories, whether they're conscious of them or not at this young age, of the phrase waboom being associated with things that child does. I predict you will use waboom for the rest of this child's life when they're walking across high school 100%. Graduation ceremony, getting their diploma. Waboom.
Once you start, you don't stop.
I agree.
This scream made me really examine, I do want to have kids, and I'm like, oh yeah, I never really thought about the generational Bachelor stuff that will be passed down somehow.
Oh my God, your kids are going to they're going to be named Caitlin and Bristow, or maybe Pinot and Ramen.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
Oh, why is my name Pinot?
I just did. I just imagined. But thank you everybody for joining us. Thank you for the scream. Again, if you want to submit your screams, our social media manager, Anya, goes through them all to give us the best ones here. You just go to patreon.com/gameroses, get in that Discord and fire off your scream. And we hope you will have a great weekend. We will be coming back with a Digging Deeper Monday, right?
Yes. I
look forward to
wait.
That. I believe that's going to include some of Tyler Francis's appearance on this podcast this week, where he talked kind of about his whole situation. So join us for that. And until Monday, we hope you have a great weekend.
Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.
Please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast. Please get a friend to listen to us. And then please rate this podcast. Please review this podcast.